Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are covering Bulls right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Right now we're going to take a look at Oklahoma, Clemson, both teams that closed the regular season on ATS losing runs in the Russell Athletic Bowl. Joe Duffy, thanks for being back with us.
Well, thank you for having me, Peter.
All right, Joe, you've been doing this longer than anyone I know. You've been doing it successfully. Great record of success in the industry, great reputation. Your website is OffshoreInsiders.com. Give a plug for that site before we hear your opinion on this game.
Yeah, there's literally probably less than 5 people who've been full-time longer than I have. I've been doing this since June 1st, 1988. Now my picks are at OffshoreInsiders.com. 27 plus years of professional handicapping experience, and I was handicapping and betting long before that. OffshoreInsiders.com.
All right, Joe, the Russell Athletic Bowl. You know, Russell Athletic makes performance apparel, but it's not just for the basketball court. It's also for the club. It's also a fashionable, high-quality performance apparel. You can wear it, you know, when you're sporting. You can also wear it to the club if you want to get laid. You could definitely get laid in some Russell Athletic performance apparel. All right. Oklahoma, Clemson. Clemson's a 3 or 3.5 point underdog. Totals 52.5 or 53. And both these teams weren't doing well against the spread down the stretch, right? Clemson did win and cover their final game against South Carolina, but before that, they had lost 6 in a row against the spread. They had injury issues. Same deal for Oklahoma, though. They went 2-6 against spread over their final 8 games, but their last game was perhaps the worst of them all. A straight-up loss to Oklahoma State, rival Oklahoma State, when they were a 21-point favorite. So both these teams tanked ATS down the stretch, but in their final games before this bowl, Clemson had a good outcome. Oklahoma had a particularly embarrassing outcome. And as far as injuries are concerned, Oklahoma is looking like they have the upper hand here, right? Deshaun Watson is going to be out. Clemson's quarterback is going to be out for this game, while Oklahoma is getting a bunch of key offensive starters back for this bowl game. So as far as that's concerned, Oklahoma has the edge. So maybe because of all those factors, you lean Oklahoma -3 here. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I will finalize what my spread pick is, and you're right. That was a big. They made the decision that since this isn't such a huge bowl game, that Deshaun Watson, who's the future of the team at quarterback, they decided he can get surgery. I mean, if this were a bigger game, they probably would play him. And yeah, he was a big part of the reason why they had they have a bright. Well, he is a big part. They have a very bright future, and also the freshman wide receiver Artavius Scott, but. These two teams are both on the upside offensively. Yes, the injury to Watson does hurt them. But remember, nobody other than maybe Texas A&M, which we talked about in another video, but Clemson had to replace so much from their offense last year. Sammy Watkins and Taj Boyd, 2 of the best players ever in this history of the school at their position. And you knew that they weren't going to be as high-powered. But they got a little bit better as the year went on. Yeah, the kid's stout. Was terrible as a quarterback, but sometimes when underachieving quarterbacks get new life, and because of the injury to Watson, he will. I think Clemson's offense is on the upside, especially with the extra practice time. And Oklahoma pretty much, you know, obviously with that running back, Perrine, he's sensational, came on strong at the end of the year. He's a freshman. You know, he had 200 rushing yards or more on 3 occasions. So both of these teams have key players that are young at the skill positions, which tells me they have an upside, and especially Clemson, which had to rebuild their offense. So I think the time off is really going to benefit. Yeah, the time off definitely benefits young players where they get the extra practice time. So I think both of these offenses are better than their statistics showed this year. So I say this game over the total.
All right, well, 52.5 is the current widely available number, and that's a relatively low total. Oklahoma was an overtrender on the year. Clemson, though, 1-7 over their last 8 games. That doesn't faze you, that stat?
Yeah, the reason that part of the reason was because of reputation. They were a team that had a reputation as such a high-powered team. And, well, of course, it always, like I say, yes, I'm never 100% certain about a pick ever until the game's over, but I don't know of any bookmakers who let you bet the game once it's over. So it's not like it's an absolute lock. But, you know, and keep in mind that Sterling Shepard, a wide receiver, he was slowed down by injury down the stretch. He's going to benefit from the time off. So I think that both of these teams, their skill position players, are either young and getting better or healthier.
There you go. Joe Duffy liking the over 52.5. That's a lower total than the Navy-San Diego State game. I like it, Joe. Thanks.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns. big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.